Hi, how are you? My name is Quinlan, and this is the Drumshow. What I am doing tonight is going to give you all you guys and gals out there a few recording tips. I put out an expression of interest last week about whether you'd like me to make a drum show all about basically recording your drum set without it sounding like it's bouncing off the piss trough at the Espy, okay? The sound quality. Let's face it, when you get an iPhone or a GoPro or one of these, a little Sony thing that I've got here that's equivalent to a GoPro, all of that sort of stuff, the last thing they think of is the microphone. Okay, you've got great vision, smartphones give great vision, but as soon as you hit one of these things, and let's face it, if you're putting together a show reel to try and get gigs, and this is coming from someone who used to get plenty of demo tapes and things like that from bands and stuff to put on my show over the years. I mean, I've had the show since 1995, is that you listen to the first 5 or 10 seconds and you go, oh man, the sound's terrible. And it doesn't do you guys and gals justice, okay? So what I want to do with this show is essentially set you up with a recording, a little tiny baby recording setup that won't break the bank. I actually said on my little post on the internet and on Facebook and everywhere else, is that equivalent to a good quality crash cymbal, okay? And what I've chosen for a crash cymbal is this Meinl Byzance Benny Greb signature 22-inch Sand Crash Ride. And its retail value is $750. Okay, full retail as at the start of 2015. Okay, so that's my budget, $750. All right. So I hope you enjoy what I'm going to do. And for a start, to begin with, what I'm going to do is simply record my drum kit on an iPhone. Okay, and on one of these. Okay, so this is what it's going to sound like. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm going around to the drum kit. Now, what I've currently got is my headset microphone and my normal mix that I usually use for the drum show. So it's this fella here, which is not bad quality. I've had it for 11 years. I want to get a wireless one though. These cords are starting to trip me up. So what I've got is, there is my GoPro equivalent, a Sony one. Actually, it's got a higher pixel rate than a GoPro. And there is my iPhone up there. This is what it sounds like. 1, 2, 3, 4. There it is. Now, can't you tell that both of these cameras have great pictures, great vision, but lousy sound, okay? Now, I've got to try and get you guys and gals there matching this sound that I've got now that you're hearing. This is through my mix. For the same price as this cymbal here. So, let's go, okay? Let's see what happens. All right. All right, now here we are. This is the drum kit. Now, one of the things that I better quickly take a few people through, just so everyone knows, but I think it's pretty much basic, is the microphones and stuff. What you have is you've got your microphones. Now, what I've done here is essentially I've got a pretty large mix here, sort of thing. I've got most of my drums mic'd. My piccolo toms over there, there's just one mic fixing that one up, taking that in. But what I want to just do is to get a decent sound. And most of you out there know that when you do a gig, a good rough and tumble gig at the local pub, you usually get 4 microphones, you see. What you get is the bass drum mic, and while I'm here, I've just received that. I'm quite chuffed with this. That's some bass drum art by a fabulous Tasmanian artist, Kate Von Rock. I do a few gigs with her husband, Brad. So cheerio to Kate and Brad. But we have, talking about recording. Oh, by the way, I'll do a gratuitous plug here. She's quite open to doing bass drum skin art. So if you guys like what you're seeing, okay, just send me a little email or a little note on Facebook or something and get you all sorted out. Anyway, what we have is I'm going to work on 4 microphones, okay? A bass drum microphone, okay? We need a snare drum mic, which is there, okay? Is that one? And then what we're going for is 2 overheads. So here and over there, okay? Now, the ones that I've got here are fairly, well, they're pretty good quality. But what happens is, for this part of the show, what I want to do is just give you an idea of how to get a drum sound with just 4 microphones, okay? So the microphones, just to cover the basics, the microphones then feed into a mixer. This is my mixer here, and it's an Allen & Heath Z24 sort of thing. So they are my, that's my mix for the drum set, okay? Now, what goes on here is that I am going to mute everything except for the kick, the snare, and the 2 overheads, okay? Of course, I'll leave my vocals on. So what I've got is mute the tom mics, okay? Just taking them straight out. So I can set you up with what I actually go through when I make a show, all right? So what I'm going to do now is get back onto the drum kit, and I'm actually going to now show you the sound just with 2 overheads, taking all of these microphones out, okay? So I'm going to do, with my drum kit, what you can do at home, okay? So here we go. Okay, here I am perched behind the kit. Now, I've only got 4 microphones. I've got my bass drum microphone, I've got my snare drum mic, okay? Now, the snare drum mic itself, if I grab this real quick, the snare drum mic, okay, can cover both the hi-hat and the snare drum if placed. You can do it like that, whatever you want to do. There it is there, okay? So that's pretty much, it all depends on the placing, all right? Now, I'll put this back up here. We're still rolling there. There we go. Now, I've got 2 overheads, right side, left side. Now, here's the bass drum sound. Now, don't forget, have a look at the picture of the bass drum. It is a full head with no porting at all, okay? I have the Evans system happening, and I'm really liking the sound, but it is a rather large sound because I don't just do rock, I do classical stuff and all sorts of other business. So when I hit it, there's the sound there, okay? It's not too bad, it's okay, that's all right. All depends on the placement, and I showed you the placement just a second ago. There it is there. Now the overheads, right side, left side, I've got them a fair way away from the tom-toms, but when you actually go to set up your own drum kit, put them a bit closer. John Bonham, for instance, always said put an overhead mic around about here, and for things like Led Zeppelin's 4th album, they just found a room that sounded fantastic, and they dangled the microphone from the staircase, if you've seen the doco and all that sort of stuff. So it's pretty amazing stuff when you can work with microphone placement and stuff. You know, distance makes depth, if you've heard of things like that. But I'm just going to give you the sound of a basic rock beat with 4 microphones. I missed. So, tom-toms. Okay. So, bass drum, snare drum, 2 overheads. You saw me mute everything else so I don't have any close miking with the toms like I usually do, and everything's sounding okay, right? Get it? Got it? Good. All right. So there we go. Four microphones. That's it. Okay. So I'll go to a break now. But when I come back after the break, I'm going to talk turkey with what to get. How can you do that? I mean, the mixing desk is rather large. I've got lots of microphones. What kind of microphones? Well, mine are expensive, okay? But the thing is, I'm going to come back after the break and give you a bit of a heads up on some of the different types of equipment that are out there. Okay? So I'll be back soon. Okay, so back from the break, and what I'm doing is showing everyone how to, get a good recording with the least amount of money possible. Now, I'm not for a second really saying this show will replace a sound engineering TAFE course or college course, a reputable one, or anything like that. This is really for those 15-second clips that you might use for a show reel to get a gig and all this sort of business. As I said at the very first segment and at the get-go, it's so frustrating to hear, as a producer, for television, for community TV, it's so frustrating to obviously see that so much love has gone into a drum kit and so much money has been poured into sticks, skins, good cymbals, great drum kit, tuned, all that. And then you put it on a smartphone and expect to get a gig? Okay. It's just heartbreaking, you see. So what it is let me just take you through the basics as I'll just reiterate, okay? You've got your microphones. We're working off 4. A bass drum, a snare drum, 2 overheads. These feed into a mixer. Okay. Now, the mixer then feeds into some kind of recorder. Now, the best mixer to get these days is one with a USB out, so you can plug it straight into your laptop. Now, just 2 things. I'm assuming with my price range of $750 that I'm not going to add in a laptop, because you've already got one, and I'm not going to add in a smartphone or just a simple camcorder or a GoPro type camera, that kind of thing. Get those separately. So what I'm talking about is putting the sound onto that, okay? So what happens is, what do? Okay. Now, this is a disclaimer, okay? I'm endorsed by DW Drums, Meinl cymbals, ProMark drumsticks, okay, and Evans drumheads, and nobody else. So when I say Sony, they're not paying me, okay? When I say Sennheiser, they're not paying me. Neither is Shure, which is this headset microphone, all this. So everything all the pricings that I've done, I just want to say I've got them off the internet just like you would, okay? And you go in with your cold hard cash with some recommendations and try and beat the boys in the music store down on price. So you might be able to get it even cheaper than what I'm sort of saying, okay? So that's my disclaimer with that. Okay. Now, all right. So what happens is we're just going to talk mixers and things like this, okay? Okay, now, I've got a few things priced up, okay? So I'm just going to finish the show off by taking you through all these pricings. I'm just going to show you pictures of the equipment that I am not getting paid to show you. I'm not getting a little backhanded $20 or anything like that. This is all just what I've gleaned from the internet, okay? Now, the first thing you're going to need is a set of earplugs. Now, I've had headphones that have been $600 by themselves, and things like that over the years. You know what I use for mixing right now? These Audiosonic Zipper in-ear headphones. Have a look at it. $6. $6, okay? They're good. They're knockoffs, I suppose, or whatever, made in China or all that. But they blow my ears off, especially when I'm going down to the bottle shop on a Saturday night and I'm playing Mastodon or something like that. Boom! So these are highly recommended for cheap shit, okay? So there's the headphones, right? So you can hear yourself or hear your, if you're drumming to something and all that, $6, okay? Don't forget our price range is up to $7.50, okay? Now, you'll need a mic pack, and what I've got here, and can you see it? It's a Sennheiser E602, okay? Now, that is fantastic. I love that. I've had it nearly 10 years, okay? That's what happens there. Now, an E602, by my costing, right, is $149, okay? So go get yourself one of them. I highly recommend it, okay? So that's a great little bass drum microphone. The actual snare microphone that I'm using is also a Sennheiser, but I've priced up a JTS NX7 for $99, okay? Now, I've tried JTS, they're not bad. They're pretty good. Now, the usual thing, the industry standard, right, is Shure's SM58s for vocals and general overheads, if you will. They're just a general purpose mic. They have the ice cream cone head. And then the second industry standard is an SM57, which has got more of a wedge on the head, and they're more instrument mics. Now, if you can afford a couple of them, I mean, some shops sell Shure SM58s as 4-packs and things like that, but it will break the budget a little bit if our budget is just $750. So I'm going the JTS NX7 for $99, okay? Now, the overheads. I have Rode overheads, and in the day they cost me $800, so that's already blown the budget right there. But what it is I've priced up 2 overheads, AKGs, PI70s, at $139 each, okay? Now, you're going to need a mixer, okay? Now, I use a little bit of Alesis. Actually, my reverb unit and all that sort of stuff is an Alesis, things like that. And I looked at, because we're only got a 4-channel setup, I've gone the Alesis Multimix 4 with USB, so it can go straight out to your laptop, and it comes with free software, okay? Now, that's $160 is what I've priced up. This is all retail too, all right? Now, the other things that you're going to need is just the stuff that sometimes gets missed. Cables, okay? Mic cables. They don't come with the microphones, all that sort of stuff. So you're going to need cabling. You can get them as cheap as $10 if you just get short ones. So if you've just got your drum kit, 4 microphones, and your mixer right next door to you, like that, you'll only need short leads. And they get sold as cheap as $10. Now, you get what you pay for, but the thing is, if this is all you've got, go with what you've got, okay? And then save up for better quality stuff. This is just get you rolling, and this just gets you out of the smartphone sound as soon as you hit a cymbal, all this sort of stuff, okay? So just your cabling, $50 and all that if you've just got 4 microphones. And last but not least, stands to put them on, okay? There's a place in Sydney that sells 5-packs of microphone stands, and they're boom for $100. I think it's Barber's Sound or something like that. But check it out. You certainly won't need one for a bass drum. You just need a sort of a little lectern kind of thing, short bass drum one, which is about $16, $20 in different places. But anyway, if you need 4 stands, let's say $20 each, $80. Let's add it up. 6 for earplugs, microphones, $360. A mixer or an interface, whatever, and I've gone the Alesis Multimix, $160. 4 cables, $50. Stands, $80. Comes to a grand total of $656. I'm $94 under my target, okay? That gets you into the laptop you already have. If you've got Apple, go straight into GarageBand, okay? If you've got Windows, go for something equivalent to that, okay? Now, if you can just take that little bit of extra time, You won't believe the difference that you'll have in the quality of sound and also the amount of interest you'll generate. Because honestly, I'm getting to the point now on Facebook that as soon as I sort of say, oh, here's a great young drummer coming up, you know, sort of thing, with his double bass drums of fury and all that, click, 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 and I'm waiting to hear something from, you know, some Virgil Donati-like stuff or something like that, and what I get instead is click, 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 click. I just press stop and move on, and I'm not the only one who does it. So let's get everyone's attention by great sound, or as good a sound as you can get with going with what you've got. Okay? There you go. Okay, so I hope you get something out of this show. Okay, it's all about recording techniques. I didn't drum very much tonight, except just to show you the differences between a GoPro style camera, your smartphone, and getting a basic mix. Now, I have a lot of microphones. I send it all into a mixing desk that has 24 channels. I don't use all of them. I use about 19, and that's a lot, okay? Now, as soon as you start doing things like that, ching, ching, ching goes the money, okay? You're going to have to mortgage mum's house to, or get a whatever. Dad? Yes, son? Can you lend me $4,000? Piss off, son. That kind of thing. What you can do is you do it for the same price as that cymbal there, okay? That is worth $749.99 at the beginning of 2015. It is a Meinl Byzance 22-inch Sand Crash Ride, Benny Greb's signature model. I can't believe that sound, it's amazing. And so on. Now, how do you make this kind of money? Well, don't break a cymbal and don't break sticks as much as you can, okay? Now, that requires technique, okay? A dear friend of mine, George Christie, who's sadly passed away, he used to say, kick points, not goals. And what he meant by that was go to the side of the cymbal. I say do a karate chop, like that, you see, sort of like that. Don't ever hit a cymbal like that. You'll just break the thing, and then you'll never get that $750 for recording. You'll always be behind because your crash cymbal's gone. You've got to spend another $300, $200, $300 on a crash cymbal. The skin's broken. You need another $25 on that. The sticks break. $20 a shot. Just get good technique, and you don't need to spend that. I call certain things in the music industry reverse income. And that means because I'm a full-time musician, I can claim it on tax. So the money I make back, I put it back into my craft, you know, that kind of thing. So stop breaking stuff. It's not cool. You're not a hero because of it, okay? If anything, it just shows that you have poor technique. So I'm a little bit too old and cranky to care about if I'm hurting anyone's feelings, because I really am honestly trying to help you. And one of the things is bass drum, snare drum mic, 2 overheads, in cabling into a mixer. You listen on $6 earplugs. You just replace them for $6. It's the same price as a pie at the footy. And what happens is you take it into your laptop, you spend that extra hour, you'll get all the gigs you need if you've got the things that make you get gigs, good technique, you're a good bloke. You don't drink the whole rider in 5 minutes. You don't turn up drunk. You get drunk afterwards. That's an old brass band saying. Don't turn up drunk. Anyway, sorry, I'm going off the subject a little bit. But the thing about it is this will get you much further. Okay, it'll get you the gig. You know, there's guys out there, they're great drummers, but they just don't have good recordings of themselves. They put out a show reel, and it's just all the way through Jesse's Girl. That's, you know. So what I'm getting at is sound as you can, right? And my name's Chris Quinlan. This is the Drum Show. I sincerely hope you get something from it. What I would love to do is now sit down on Facebook and see a whole bunch of 15-second clips with schmick sound, okay, from stuff that just did not break the bank, okay? So I hope you got something out of tonight's show. It's very different, and I'll get back to drumming next episode. But I hope you've gleaned something from this show. Okay? All right. Take care. Good night.